Baron James, who was head of the Paris branch and the youngest of the five sons of our Emperor Rothschild, gave an astonishingly uninhibited description of the 19th century Rothschild policy of keeping it in the family. I'll quote to you from what he wrote, make you smile. In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family. In this sense, it was more or less understood since childhood that children would never think of marrying outside the family, so that our fortune would never leave it. You couldn't write that today. Anyhow, the change from being a private house to a public institution, the mixed marriage between the National Trust and my family, I think it's fair to say has been a successful and happy one, and I believe unique of its kind. And last year we had 450,000 visitors. The foundation, our foundation, provides the financial support and lends. Now, I want to tell you something about the members of our family who, through Waddesdon, have been particularly involved with Israel and the Jewish community. Jimmy Rothschild, who really inherited the property out of the blue, he was the son of Baron Edmund Rothschild, who'd established settlements in Palestine to give a new life to persecuted Russian Jews. He, out of the blue, inherited Waddesdon from Ferdinand's sister Alice. He left Paris to England after the Dreyfus case, and his wife, Dolly, helped Chaim Weizmann in his stupendous efforts to establish the State of Israel by connecting him into the establishment of Great Britain. When she was only 19, Weizmann wrote to her 33 letters during the course of the year. He didn't know anybody. He was a fairly impoverished chemist in Manchester, and she had contacts and introduced him to people like Lord Crewe and Lord Rosebery. And I think it's fair to say that the Balfour Declaration might not have happened without her and her husband's support. Jimmy Rothschild, throughout his life, was a passionate supporter of the Jewish community. And when conditions for Jews in Austria and Germany became intolerable in the 1930s, some of you may know this, the British government made provision for 10,000 unaccompanied children to be given refuge, known as the Kindertransport. And Jimmy and Dolly offered to help by providing a home for 30 of those children at Waddesdon. It was literally a last-minute escape. Now, Jimmy and Dolly were also childless, and in effect, those 30 children became theirs. And interestingly, almost all of them had successful careers. One, for example, was a golf professional, and another looked after the estate of a British Earl.